That looked really complicated, but I'll break it down for you step by step so you can make your own 30-second trailer. Let's jump into it. Hi there, I'm Rob and welcome to my free Final Cut Pro X mini masterclass, The Basics. I've used all sorts of editing software over my 15 plus years in media, and I can safely say that Final Cut Pro and Final Cut Pro X in particular are easily the best, most user-friendly and intuitive editing software available right now. I'm giving you the basics to get started sharing your skills and talents and ideas with the world, no matter your age or experience level. Timestamps are available in the description below if you want to find something in particular or if you just want to jump around. But before we go any further, please do consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Now let's get into it. So you want to jump right into it, I know, but first what we have to do is get acquainted with the software. Over here we have the sidebar, and the sidebar is where libraries, events, and projects are stored. Next to that is the media browser, where your video, audio, and photos are stored once you import them into your project. This is the Playback Viewer, where your media is played when you press the space bar and you're editing your project. Over here on the right is your inspector window. This is where your clip info is located and where you do any manipulations that you want to your edit. Down here is your timeline, where you actually edit your project. And over here to the far right is the audio or decibel meter. Now, depending on the version of the application that you have, that is 10.2, 10.3, or 10.4, these buttons and layout might be different, but they all serve the same purpose. So don't be afraid and don't be intimidated. The first thing that we have to do is create a library. Now, a library is where all the information for this particular body of work is contained. Save the library on an external drive or an internal drive like the HD2 or the SSD2. Using your desktop drive will take up loads of space real quickly or slow down your computer. So if you're totally new to editing or computers in general, I would suggest going on Amazon or any computer store and picking up one of these, an external hard drive. And the least amount of space you want to get on these is 250 gigs. These help you to store information off of your computer so you can move quickly on your computer. The next step is to create a new event. Think of this as a storage album for your video, audio, photos, etc. When you import more footage, it goes into this library and into this storage album for organization purposes. You can modify these settings depending on the video platform you intend to output to. Now that we have a home for our media, we need a place to assemble it. So we go up here to File, New Project, and this is where we can create a new timeline to edit our video within the tutorial event. You can create multiple projects within one event. Think of these project timelines as segments. Say you were editing a documentary or putting together a TV show. You could very easily edit one segment on this timeline and create another to edit on this one. It's all about preference and the option to organize and customize your workflow. Now, before you import any video or audio or any kind of media into your events folder, this next step is crucial to your health. Trust me, you don't want to be stressed out looking for a particular clip that you shot, but now you have to rummage through the footage because it's disorganized. So take this into consideration. And let's organize our clips before importing. Create a folder based on the days you shot or the camera you use or the angles. For instance, this one is my phone, so I'll name it S7. I shot these videos with my Sony A63, so I'll call that Sony. And this is drone footage. As you see, it says DJI. I have a Spark, so I'll name that Sparky. Go back into Final Cut Pro X and import the files. Another way of importing is the keyboard shortcut Command and I. And if you really want to be a rebel, just make sure you have the event open and then drag and drop it in. So you've created a library, you've created an event, and you have a project timeline. You've imported your clips. So now start editing. But not quite. First, you want to go through your footage and pick out the parts that jump out at you. So let's go and do that. There are two view modes to choose from, list and film strip. It's all about your preference. Now press S if it's not already enabled to skim over the clip. Find the portion that you want, press I for in and O for out, and then press F to favorite it. Move over to this menu option here, and now you can choose which clips you want to see at any point during your edit, rather than having to constantly sift through every single clip each time you need footage. You can skim over your footage by hovering the cursor over it and sliding to the left or right, or you can just press J to rewind or L to fast forward. If you press J or L 2 or 3 or 4 times, the clip speed will go forward or backward 2 or 3 or 4 times. So go ahead, try it out for yourself. Works like a charm. With a general idea of how you want your edit to come together, start placing clips onto the project timeline. And boom, there you go. You started your first basic edit. So click this video right now to move on to the next course. And if you forgot to do it at the beginning of this video, subscribe and give this video a like, because I really appreciate it and it really helps. Let's get into the next one.